everyone, it's Lillian here with a Create With Me time, and it truly is a Create With Me because I haven't yet created this card myself, so we will be creating together. My name is Lillian Kemp. I am from Spruce Grove, Alberta, Canada, an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and you'll find me under Stamper's Niche. So let's just go down to my desktop and see what we're going to make. And I will discover right along with you. There we go. Now let me just get my computer up and running as well, so that I can tell what we're doing. There we go. And now I will get this going as well. There. So just before we get started, I wanted to remind you that there is a great designer series paper sale on right now. It is 15, so 10 plus 5, 15 different designer papers for each of them for 15% off. This way you can pick and choose. In the past, when they've had designer paper sales, you had to buy 2 or 3 to get one free. This way you can just, even if you want one, still take advantage of the sales. So I think this is a great way of doing it. And I see that I am slightly crooked here. Let's see if I can get it straightened out a little bit more without making you too seasick. Okay, that's going to be the best we've got it, I think. All right. Let me just show you these designer papers, and what I find is even more exciting is there are several from the mini catalog, which is highly unusual. One of them is plaid tidings, so it has so this is the front and back here, and I got a little wonky on some. It kind of makes your eyes hurt because there's so much design, and yet these are wonderful. This is one designer paper I didn't think I needed, and then I started playing with it, and yes, I have enjoyed it so much. In fact, I'm nearly ready for a second package. This is how many colors go with it. So you've got colors here for pretty much every season you can think of. And of course, black and white is always one that I go with. So this is a wonderful set, 15% off. This is a 6x6 paper. Here's another 6x6 paper from the mini catalog. It's called 'Tis the Season. I just did a huge all-day Christmas workshop, and this designer paper really featured in it a lot. It is gorgeous. And we have the foil paper, the red and green foil, and it looks lovely with this too. Then there's the beautiful poinsettia place designer paper, and it not only covers Christmas but other seasons as well. A lot of this could be for any season. And what's more, if you have the poinsettia place dies, they cut out some of these shapes as well. So another fun one, still from the mini. This is right near the beginning of the mini catalog, Heartwarming Hugs. And you can see here all of these designs. Although they have Christmas colors, they are not Christmas designs, so they could be used again for any season. When they just concentrate on one or the other color, it really works well as well. So there's that. Then there's Snowflake Splendor, and it is a gorgeous, gorgeous designer paper. Has these colors here that I know so many of you really, really enjoy. And it's almost like a watercolor look on it. Beautiful paper, and I've used a lot of it. And there is another paper that's also on sale. I just don't happen to have it. I might do before this sale is over. It is the Trimming the Town, designer paper. And it's part of this whole suite that you find here called Trimming the Town. And if you, this suite and these stamp sets, you can, when you purchase this, a share of it goes to charities that involve adoption, foster care, or fertility care. So that's one of the giving back to the community that Stampin' Up! Does so well. Then in the annual catalog, I know many of you have fallen in love with this paper here, the Peony Garden, and it has the basic gray, gray granite, petal pink, and whisper white. Beautiful, beautiful paper. I've used it before. This one, this paper, oh, you can see tons and tons and tons of samples. It is the Forever Greenery designer paper. Then this is a paper that, again, I didn't think I wanted at first, and I have actually used a lot of this, and I'm using it again in my Stampin' Time the week after next, so on making a Cookie Monster. So just great colors, great designs there. This also is fun. You've likely seen me play with this quite a bit. It's called Playing with Patterns. It's a 6x6 designer paper. Another 6x6 designer paper is the Whale of a Tale. I even did a whole class on this, and this paper is just so much fun to work with. This, of course, you've seen me use a lot of it. It's Playful Pets, so I need to replenish my supply with so many of these things, papers. So this is perfect timing for me. And then there's this mega package of paper. It's like a double package of paper. It's a little bit more money, but you get double the amount. And this is all about textures, wood grain, stonework, tiles, speckling, that kind of thing. So all of this, and there's your colors that go with it. And I am going to be playing with this one today. So let's get started here. Have you got your supplies? Oh, just a little aside, because I always forget. But if you are wanting to shop with me online, here is my online store here, and you just click on shop, or if you want to look at the specials, the designer paper online, you can click on specials. And then if your order is less than $200, if you could please use this hostess code. And it's a way of combining things, and also I will send you a card and who knows what else in the mail. So first off, in my things to gather, there was designer paper, 3 by 4 1/4, and also 1 1/4 by 4 1/4. So I chose this paper right here. Or it could have been this side, but I chose to use this, and so they're the same height. And I always choose my designer paper first, because then I work from my designer paper, from the colors in it. So the next thing was to choose a cardstock base. And so the cardstock base is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 3 1/4 and 6. So I chose basic gray. Now I played around a little bit. I thought about having this as my base color, the Night of Navy, or basic gray, and I went with basic gray. I don't think I could have gone wrong either way. So just while we're here, I'm going to fold this. Now usually a Z fold folds in the center and then folds back in half. This is slightly different. It's not folding in the center. It's instead of 5 1/2, it's folding at 6. And then when you fold back, this panel is bigger. So if you can see, it's going to overhang a bit, but the finished card is still going to be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So that's what this is going to be, like that. Then I was to bring in coordinating cardstock, and the coordinating cardstock I brought in is the Night of Navy. So one piece at 1 by 4 1/4, and another piece that is 2 5/8 by 4. Now, if you don't like the 5/8 business, this is actually going to rest in here, so you could cut it down to whatever you're comfortable with. The trick is you don't want it much bigger, because you want it to be hidden when it's folded up. All right, so we've got that. And then we've got Whisper White, that is 2 1/2 by 3 7/8. And that will layer on this piece right here. So like I said, if you don't like those 1/8 marks, don't worry about it. Just cut it down a slight bit and go with quarters, and it will work just fine. So we've got that. And then you need some scrap Whisper White for stamping on. I am going to stamp on this. So let's get rid of all these little bits of paper and get started. All right, so I'm going to keep that till later. What we're going to do, this is going to go here, and it's going to go top to bottom and right along the edge, like that. But before we do that, we're going to bring in this little strip, and we're going to add adhesive to that, and line it right up on that fold. So line it up on the fold. I could have even had it hang over, but I wanted it to line up on the fold like that. And just while that is setting up or drying, I'm going to put this along here. So we'll bring that back in, the glue back in, and should have my glue a little closer, and then my arm won't be flying in the middle of your screen all the time. There we go. So for those of you who are watching, let me know where you're from, and welcome. So now we've got these two panels put in. Now we're going to back to the front, put this down, and this is going to look like that. Now see how this is a different opening. Usually when a card we make like this folds flat, it covers right up to whatever we got on this edge, or this paper covers the whole thing. But when we're doing it this way, this is still part of the decoration. So we're letting some of this paper show through. So let's fasten this down, and I'll bring my glue a little closer. Hi, Carolyn. So glad you're with me. Hey, I bet this time works better for you than when I do my morning ones. There we go. So now we are that far. See how are you seeing how it's coming together? Now we'll fasten this. I'm going to keep that just in case I get inspired. Now, basically, we've got our card done. We're going to do an embellishment here. I am going to stamp it this way, and I'm going to bring in some stamps and just plan it a little bit. So I am playing with the good things in life are better with you. And one of the reasons I'm playing with this is my husband's birthday is tomorrow. One of the reasons I can't be online during World Card Making Day, I figure he deserves a little attention on his birthday. So that's why I'm doing this a day early. And I could also suggest, if you are doing World Card Making Day, I think it would be good if we made sure we mailed these cards. So I am bringing in two stamp sets that I'm hoping can work together, Silhouette Scenes and Tasteful Touches. And my idea was to stamp this in a light color and then have the words go over top. We will see how that works. So let me just mount my stamps. There's a little extra on the block here. I'm somebody who likes to try to get my stamps fairly straight on the block because that helps me get it straight when I'm stamping. I know that there are people who quite enjoy having it angled or whatever, and then their eye can tell the difference, but that's just not how my brain works a whole lot. So I like to try to set myself up for success as much as possible. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink this up with smoky slate and stamp it off once so that it's just going to be light and in the background. Okay, so just because it's going to come off the edges, let's see. Oh, commit, Lillian, commit. There we go. There's just faintly in the background like that. Now bring in, that was with smoky slate stamped off once. Now I'm going to bring in Night of Navy and ink this up. And when I have fairly large stamps, I like to ink them up upside down. And remember, it's just tap, 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 not swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. You don't want to press too hard. Even as it is, I've got a bit of an edge there, but hopefully it won't catch. but you don't need to press hard, especially with these new stamp pads. If you're pressing hard, you likely need to re-ink your stamp pad. Makes a huge difference. Ooh, I love that font. Okay, I kind of think I like that. What do you think? Is it looking good? Hi, Marion. Welcome. Now, I am going to... Oh, I can already see what I want. I want a bigger one of these in navy to frame that. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to go cut one, because let me just find that. I'm going to have to talk loudly because I have to wander around my room a little bit. So let's move this out of the way. Bring in my nested framelits. So this one was that one. The next biggest is this one here. Okay. Do I happen to have a navy one cut? No, I keep my spares in a envelope here just so that I have them, and sometimes it's just what I need. So I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. This is gorgeous. And I'll bring in some Night of Navy paper. And you're definitely creating with me here. Bring in some scrap paper. And when you have a long die, instead of putting it through this way, put it through the long way. This way it cuts better because it's the rollers are cutting over a longer period of time. It's less pressure on your machine and it just works a whole lot better. So there's just a little hint. So let's run it through. And I've got it on paper, so it's slipping a little bit. I find it sticks pretty well otherwise. So now we've got that. Let's get this out of the way. Marion, you're loving this card. Oh, I'm glad. I have to admit that I didn't totally know what I was doing, but I am actually loving it too. So let's just fasten those two papers together. I think that's going to make it pop a whole lot more, just by adding that extra layer of color. Now it does not have to be the stitched nested framelits. You could have rectangles, circles, whatever, but I'm thinking that way, like that. Now, pardon me, I have some ribbon to just dress it up a little bit. Oh yeah, what do you think? Oh, do you know what I meant to do? I meant to stamp on here as well. I wonder if I still could. You are definitely creating with me. Okay, do I want a feather? No. Do I want this? That would look okay. I think I like that better than the feather. Or do I want some of these? Oh, I think I'm going to go with that. I often forget about that little one. So this is coming from the Tasteful Touches stamp set. There we go. Get that out of the way. Oh, I've got a leaning tower of pizza here. And you know what? When I do this kind of thing, I will bring in a sticky note and just protect the edge so that I don't get it where I don't want it. I can move that around. Now I think I would like that actually in basic gray, or do I want it in Night of Navy? What do you think? Stamping it in basic gray or Night of Navy? I think I'm going to go with basic gray and just play it safe. Night of Navy, if I'd had thought about it earlier, I could have given it a try. So let me see if it's going to go about here. And There, you see how this is protecting the underneath part? And that's likely good enough. I could always do more, but I think I'm going to stop before I get too much. There we go. All right, where are we at? I was thinking of putting this ribbon on here. This is that blue jean ribbon, and my husband does love his blue jeans. Okay, yes, I think I will go with that ribbon. Marion, you did the paper share. Did you do, it was the paper share from the original one, wasn't it? And you've got this paper. Oh, I love this paper. Can't go wrong with this paper. So let's see. About like that. So I'm going to put a couple of glue dots there just to hold it in place before it moves on me, because do you ever find that you get something in just the right spot and then when you go to stick it down, it shifts and you think, why did I do that? And you can't get it back quite in the right same spot. Sometimes if you use that Glad cling wrap and just press it down, that helps to keep it in the right spot, but it's never handy. So I tend to do it the awkward way. But you know what? It's whatever works, right? Okay, now let's just see. If I put this like that, what do you think? Is it coming together? Now I'm going to put this on dimensionals, which will help hold that ribbon down. And I only want the dimensionals on the part that's going to be on this part of the card. So what I often do is I sort of line it up where I think I want it to go, and I go like this. And I've even been known to say, okay, I know that I want this about here, so I can put some right here so that it's on the edge. Ooh, got an extra topping. There must be one back there that doesn't have a backing on it. And I'm going to put one here just to hold that ribbon in place because it's seeming to want to wiggle. All right, let's see how that goes. Take the backings off. Like that. Already I'm getting so that I can't even see my work area. That is just how, okay, I think I want you spread out a little bit more. There we go. Now I just found this really kind of interesting because we can see the background paper through here. It's just a different take on things. So there we go like that. Now for here, we're going to put these two. I'm not going to put this on just yet because I want to be able to stamp on it before I glue it down, because as always, it's important to remember that paper has two sides, right? But I want you to be able to see how it's going. So see, that just gets covered like that. There we go. And then once I stamp this and write on it, then I will put that down there. And there we go. Now it's killing me not to put rhinestones and things like this on here, but I think my husband will appreciate the lack of the glitter. I need to work on those ribbons a bit. I should have left well enough alone, right? There we go. There's always a way to fix things, isn't there? So have fun with this card design. Pick your own papers. You would look totally different with floral. It would look great with Christmas, anything. So use up those designer papers. Have some fun. Enjoy World Card Making Day, and also send some cards. And for those of you who haven't noticed, yesterday I posted a link to subscribe to my newsletter. I will post it again today. I am going to start 12 weeks of Christmas starting next week. Can you believe it? It's that close. It's something I've always wanted to do, and usually we're away. But thanks to COVID, we're going to be around. thanks to COVID and Harry's surgery that should be coming up pretty soon. So I'm going to give that a whirl. So make sure you have subscribed to my newsletter. If you already get my newsletter, you are subscribed, so you don't have to worry. But if you don't get my newsletter, do make sure you subscribe. If you would like to shop with me, remember, go here or contact me. But if you shop online, this is the hostess code on orders less than $200. And what I would really, really love is as you use this card pattern yourself, if you would post what you've done, because each of our cards is going to look totally different. And I'd love to see what yours looks like. So that's it. Take care and bye-bye.